If you're just now coming to this and you're not aware of the hiatus, the channel was privatized and not accessible to the public for a little over a year now. I'm not going to give the usual, oh, well, I was busy with life or things were going on or anything like that. Something happened. And there have been a lot of drama videos in the past and people talking shit and blah, 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 which is whatever that's been going on for years now. The reason that the channel went down was because there was an attempt to dox me. It was not successful. They doxed some other poor girl that slightly resembled me. But, yeah, so that happened, and this was one of the, I've had attempted doxings before in the past, but this was the only one where they actively tried to attack me on a personal level. So a video went up that doxed some poor girl, and it, luckily for me, it was some real sloppy work. So it gave me time to do a hard scrub. I took down all the videos. I erased anything remotely personal about me on all platforms and just did a good old-fashioned hard scrub. This person that attempted, and his cronies, it's the best way I can describe it. One was actually a member of one of my communities, and they had no real explanation. I didn't really ask for an explanation either, because to me it didn't matter the reason why. The person that did all this, or initiated all this, we'll just say, was, it wasn't even somebody that I slighted heavily. Like, I would have expected something like this from some of the other people that I've been in drama with before, but this was just someone that was in one of the other communities that I was a part of, and I don't really understand what their angle or point of it was, but for whatever reason, they had some ideas in their head about supernatural and stuff, and I corrected them like I correct everyone. But he proceeds to start lying, saying that I said this and I said that. And of course, if anybody has ever encountered me online, you know I keep receipts for everything. Everything. I keep conversations, anything that I think is relevant. I keep all this stuff for this reason. So obviously I ousted him as, lying. And because he was giving portions of a conversation that we had, but he was doing that, only sharing the screenshots that, match his narrative. So I shared everything from beginning to end, from the timestamp of conversation initiated to leaving conversation. So I shared anything. Anyway, let's fast forward. So this person the one that tries to dox me, he starts his own community and whatever. I do not care. But for whatever reason, he carried this grudge against me for outing him as a liar, because everybody knows there's nothing I hate more in this world more than a liar. Like, you can steal from me, you can rob me, you can just be a genuinely shitty person, but I cannot stand a liar. And so this whole incident with the lying and the screenshots and the receipts happened over 2 years ago, almost 3 years. And, I didn't even think about this guy. I did not, once I'm done with somebody, I'm typically just done with somebody, but apparently he is, carrying a fiery, obsessive hatred for me. But anyway, back to the point. This person attempted to dox me. Someone in my community sided with him, betrayed me. They made this whole video, doxed the wrong person, and that was the reason that the video went down. Or the videos, the channel. So that's where we've been. And I'm not going to lie, like, it did take a bit of a toll on the community, or my communities, let's be specific. On my communities, I had people coming in and asking me about it. I had lots of people asking me what happened to the channel, and I'm having to explain this story over and over about this crazy boy that was trying to dox me. And it made my entire community paranoid as shit. And I mean, like, I'm going to be honest about it. And I mean, I value myself on transparency. So that is what happened with the channel. That's why we just kind of have been very low key lately. And plus with, the plague and everything. And I mean, I've been meaning to do this for a while. I don't know, maybe I was just nervous about getting back into it, or like I joked that I was just being lazy, which is probably a little bit true. But a lot of it was just like stressful. Because I do have a busy, demanding job and family and a household and everything like that. But on the upper side of things, obviously we have a real setup now. You can hear me clearly. I have light. I have a very fancy camera that I bought specifically for this as a means of helping motivate me to get back into it. So the channel is back up. We are going to be doing videos again. I already have things slotted, ideas for material. We are going to try this thing where we're consistent. I don't know how that's going to go, because this is probably the most inconsistent channel on YouTube. Like everybody else uploads once, twice a week. I may upload once every 3 months. Maybe a year. But anyway, the channel is up, and I felt like I owed everybody an explanation on why it went down, where I went, and all that stuff. I didn't really go anywhere. I don't know. I felt the need to remove everything to prevent a successful dox attempt. But I feel like I'm in a good place with it all right now. And I feel more comfortable putting myself back out there. And let's go ahead and address some other things while we're at it, because I feel like I have to make one of these videos every time I come back, because there's always something. There's also a blog, whatever Tumblr stuff is. So it's on Tumblr and it's on Instagram, I know. So there's also something that everybody keeps coming and asking me about it. It's Dark Flame Alliance, or I don't know, something Alliance. Red Flame, I don't know. Regardless, it has to do with First Family Pack. So there was a person that was trying to slander me. They tried on the amino, which failed horribly. They went on Tumblr, which I think is where it started. I know that the post is on Instagram, and they tried Reddit, but the guy that's doing the werewolf Reddit stuff is somebody that I've known since I started in the community, so that backfired horribly. But anyway, so this is the thing. So they go into this whole blog post, whatever you want to call it, story, let's just call it a story going forward, about how, I use people about how I think I'm the daughter of a goddess, that I am a liar, and they wasted all their time with me. And it took me a little bit to figure out who it was, because I was like, who the hell knows me from that long ago? Because this was like back in way back, like when I first started in the community, in a message forum that's no longer exists. And so I figured out who it was. So the only time, now I don't typically talk about pack stuff, because I consider that separate from all this. There was a person in my group pack that I removed. And it is the only time I have ever thrown someone out. And the reason behind it was, I won't go into too many details, and I'm not going to name anybody's names on this. But it was basically, they had become a different kind of person. Like, it wasn't anymore like, maybe they're just a little misled, maybe they believe whatever they want to believe or whatnot. It became things like they would spend all their money on stuff like conventions and trips and things like that. But then they would start GoFundMes because they couldn't pay their bills, which is whatever. It's kind of sketch, but okay. There was an incident where they had a pet and the pet got sick. It was a cat. It was a kitten. So they had the diagnosis for the cat. They started GoFundMe for the vet, which was great. But then they turned around and put the cat down after they got all the money and then used that money to get a tattoo. So that was one of the things. There was a lot more that led up to this. This wasn't like an isolated incident that I was just like, I don't like you anymore. So there was other things like they would start fights amongst their friends and then nope out on it. There was incidents where they would lie about people. They would talk very openly about violent things. And it's one thing if we talk casually about violence, but when you brag both about your mental health issues, but then you also brag about your firearms and stuff like that, that's just like a little hinky for me. But like I overlooked that. And then it started getting down to things like, so it's no secret, I am Native. I'm Native mix. I talk about it openly. I had the benefit of growing up in my culture and knowing my culture. And there was an incident where she was posting misinformation about my culture. So I correct her on it, which is something that I am well within my right to do, because it was extremely misrepresenting. And so I correct it. Now, just to be clear, she is not Native. Not even a little bit. Like, not even remotely tan. And I correct her on this, and she went so far as to tell me that she expected me to know my culture better, that she expected better of me. Like, excuse me? You expect better of me about my own culture? Like, I don't know if that's appropriation or not, but it's extremely offensive. And so I clock her on it. So it escalates into a big fight. And I was just like, fuck this, I'm done. So I blocked her on media. And I just walked away. Oh, and she had the audacity to try and, in this original story that's on all over the internet about lies and shit, she had the audacity to bring other pack members into it. Or at least one specifically. And that pack member was not okay with this. She was not okay with being brought into it and just blatantly being lied about. So nobody's happy. And so anyway, I block her on media. Well, the pack member in question shows me where apparently after I block her on media, she starts telling everybody that I told her to go kill herself, which I have never done for anyone, no matter how much I didn't like them, no matter how hard I campaigned against them. I have never said that to anybody. So to put, blatantly lie like that and put that out there, and she had all of her friends riled up on it and threatening my life and stuff. And of course, as I mentioned, she liked to stir up drama and then let everybody freak out. But so that was blatantly not true, and I figured I was done with it. And apparently she was also salty because not only did I remove the pack, but I didn't tell her. That was disrespectful. But here's the thing, if you're just a terrible person and I don't want to associate with you. I don't have to say anything to you. I don't owe you that. Will never owe somebody that. Because, like, if you're a terrible person and you're a disrespectful person and you're going to disrespect me and lie about me, what makes you think you have any right to an explanation? So anyway, that's what the story is that's floating around. That's the explanation behind all of it. It's not that and furthermore, like, what have I ever used anyone for? If it's like, I have everything I need. I've never asked anyone for anything. Hell, I don't even really ask, like, I ask y'all to subscribe, maybe read, but I don't ask anybody for anything. Like, I would, and that's the thing is I ask these people, like, oh, well, I heard you're a user. Okay, what did I use them for? And I'm a liar. What have I lied about? No explanations. Never an explanation. And, like, if I said something or misrepresented myself or something, come to me. Show me your receipts. Show me your screenshots. Show me your evidence on what you're claiming. Not some random post somewhere buried in the internet of some obscure group that just has this whole, I hate Angel. I hate Troll Queen. Oh yeah, and they're supposed to, like, drive me off all platforms. Good luck with that. This big mouth can't be contained to one platform. Just saying. I mean, you're welcome to try. Somebody did try. They didn't do a good job because I'm back. But yeah, I figured I would go ahead and knock everything out of the way. Going forward, I'm going to try and not have to keep making these videos of drama and where I've been and da-da-da-da-da. Hopefully, I don't have to keep dealing with this shit. It's more annoying than anything because then I have to go and check and I have to look and figure out who somebody is, and it's just so much. I don't understand what is going on or not going on in your life that you have to invest that much time. Oh yeah, the bonus to all of this, the person that I threw out of the pack, that happened over 3 years ago. Probably going on 4 years now. So 4 years ago, that happened, and they're trying to drag. And then the other one that tried to dox me, that was about 3 years ago, and they're trying to drag. And my first family pack is still butthurt, but that's whatever. I don't really care. When I was done with that, I was done with that. If I'm not done with that, then that's because you keep bringing it to me. So chill the fuck out. Get over stuff. Like, why are you spending this much of your life hating on me? Because I can guarantee you, I do not give a shit about what you're doing. I don't. You share misinformation. I knock it down. I have citations for my sources. I have valid information and research. So good luck with that. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up because it's like coming up on 20 minutes. But I figured I owed an explanation to everybody on where I've been, what happened with the channel, and all the drama floating around, because really it was owed and long overdue. But we will be getting content back up. There is also something else social media related in the works, but we will get to that when we get to that. So I'm not going to get anybody's hopes up on it. But if you are 3 years in the future watching this video, obviously I'm very popular amongst the haters. If you don't like me, go join their club. I'm sure that you'll enjoy that. And y'all, if you like this video, hit me a like. If you want to subscribe to the channel and review my old videos, that would be awesome. We will be revisiting some of the old videos and as a experiment on how the research has developed years later, since the channel is 6 or 7 years old now. So we will revisit and do a throwback on old videos and update information and refilm information and clarify information, and it would be like a really cool way to see how something evolves. But yeah, hit like, hit subscribe. If you don't, just bounce. I don't care. Troll Queen out.